Welcome everybody as you're coming in. Thank you, Faye. Yeah, go ahead and type in the chat.
Vero Beach.
Yeah, Vero Beach. Sounds lovely. If you could just type in the chat where you're joining us from. While you're doing that, I like to give music credit to my brothers in music, the Maharaja Flamenco Trio. If you like it, like what you're listening to, shameless plug. I put it in the chat here, mftrio.com. It's good music to life. For Fort Pierce, Lorraine, Port Charlotte, Tallahassee. Wow, what? Nottingham, UK? That's across the pond. Santa. Hello from the Ukraine. Hello, Ukraine.
Wow.
Wow, we got a lot of love from the Ukraine.
Oh my gosh.
Our brothers and sisters in Ukraine. Nice. Thanks, Shanice. I'm glad you like the music. Maharaja Flamenco Trio. mftrio.com. Check it out. This song is called Mira. Extra points if anyone in the chat can tell me what does mira mean in Spanish. Put that in the chat. David, you were quick. Oh yeah, nice. Tommy, you're quick. You're like, yes. Look, check it out, mira. So we're about to check out this webinar here. Thank you all for joining us today at our webinar, Cultivating a Community of Professional Development and Teaching Practice Online. And that's what we're all about here. That's what we're doing, right, in this webinar. So thank you all for being part of this community of teaching practice. Before we jump into the webinar, I'd like to ask my dear friend, June Rawl, to say a few words to introduce us here.
Hello, everyone. Well, that was very exciting to hear about all the people coming from all parts of the world to our webinar. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is June Rawl. I am the director of IPDE, the Institute for the Professional Development of Adult Educators. And today I'm joined with my dear friend, your dear friend, and our colleague, Dr. Ramin Yazdampana. And Dr. Yazdampana is going to be facilitating our webinar today, titled Cultivating a Community of Professional Development in Teaching Practice Online. Today, you're really going to hear about an amazing opportunity to engage in a community of practice. Later in the presentation, we're going to talk about how you can even register for this course. It's really designed for ESOL practitioners to really sharpen their practices, but not only that, but to share successes and for us all to work together. Because when we work together, really great things happen. So this collaborative effort is really an effort to really, in the end, improve our learner outcomes. You know, we all share this passion and we all share this goal for this work. So really formulating and forming a cohesive cohort and working together is definitely something that's going to yield really high success for us. So I hope you enjoy the webinar today, and I'm going to turn it over to Ramin and we will get started.
Thank you, June. Thank you, June. With that, yes, it's very exciting to see all of these lovely names and places, not only in Florida, not only the US, but really around the world. And so I think that shows you when we're talking about a community of practice, we're talking globally. and that's very exciting. So even though this webinar is focused on professional development opportunity that's being offered through the Florida Department of Education and Florida IPDAY, I think that I hope that you'll see this course and some of the experiences of the participants that I'll share that have engaged in this course as a model and can potentially give you ideas for developing communities of practice where you are anywhere in the world. So again, I want to thank you for being present today, either by being here live with us right now or viewing the video later. I also want to support your decision on creating the time and the space in your day, in your busy day, for your professional development. And I always say this, but I'm a true believer that our mindset, our development of our knowledge, our skills and abilities are really some of the most valuable ways that we can invest in ourselves. And all of these investments always pay off. So again, my name is Ramin Yazdanpana, and I have the honor and pleasure to lead us in our webinar today, Cultivating a Community of Professional Development and Teaching Practice Online. Again, this webinar should be of interest to teachers and administrators of adult ESOL programs, as I will present and discuss an online professional development course available to all adult ESOL educators in the state of Florida. Okay, so as June mentioned, this course is available. If you are interested, the next course is actually right around the corner. It's April 17th it starts. So if you are interested, it is free for Florida adult ESOL teachers. The dates run from April 17th to June 23rd. And to register, you can contact June, who we just heard from there. And I'll actually copy and paste this in the chat. But if you're interested, you can email June and she can help you with enrolling in the course. This is available to individuals, to those who are administrators. If you want to connect your teachers at the district level, at the school level, just contact June and she will help you out. Participants do receive a certificate of completion and could be eligible for credit hours. Okay, and if you scan that QR code there, if you're more of a kind of techie person, you can also scan that QR code and that'll take you to the contact page for IPDAY, Florida IPDAY, where you can contact June as well. Okay, so let's jump into it here. If you have a question, please type it into the Q&A. I do my best to look over to the chat and take pause and answer any questions. But we'll also have a Q&A session at the end of the webinar. You are muted, so you'll only be in listen only mode. So unfortunately, I can't see your faces and hear your voices. But today's presentation is being recorded, and just keep in mind that it'll be available on the IPDAY website within 48 hours. And just thank you again to the brilliant and positive IPDAY team, June, Tammy, and Joseph for your support. And I sincerely hope that this experience in this webinar contributes positively to your professional development. So to start, let's define communities of practice or COPs. So author and teacher educator Betsy Parrish provides the following descriptors to define COPs. So COPs are small groups of teachers that meet in person, online, synchronously or asynchronously, devoting time to support one another through active listening and exploration of common issues and concerns they are having in their teaching. I'd like to add to this definition and distinguish communities from groups. Although we can certainly learn from a group, communication and contact is often limited, both in terms of breadth and depth of interaction and information. In contrast, a community of learning and teaching practice is more interested in sustained connection and collaboration, cultivating a supportive environment for deeper sharing of our teaching experiences, challenges, strengths, and goals. And as a teacher of adult ESOL students myself, I know firsthand how isolated and insular teaching can be at the classroom level. Even when there is a supportive environment among colleagues at the school level, there's still a need for opportunities to learn, apply, discuss teaching methods in diverse teaching contexts with other educators. This is true with other educators, in your district, around the state, around the nation, and around the world. So these communities of teaching practice support a more reflective teaching practice and growth mindset that benefits teachers and in turn benefits students and the goals of your schools and your programs. So I'd like to just pause here to get your input, and I'd ask you to contribute in the chat in 4 words or less to please provide an example of how a community of teaching practice might be beneficial to you and your colleagues. So here we go. Kate, you're on it. All right. So Kate says cooperative learning. Absolutely. That's going to be a theme that we see in the course that we're going to discuss here. So cooperating, creating opportunities to cooperate, fresh ideas, successful experiences. Absolutely. A lot there of collaboration, right, as well. So collaboration, sharing experiences, working with the divide and belief systems that hinder learning. Ooh, Gonzalo, that's more than 4 words, but I like it. I think it's worth it. I like it. The divide and belief systems that hinder learning. Yes, we're working on how we can prevent any hindrance of learning. Sharing best practices. And absolutely, Jordy, encouragement. We all need encouragement, right? That's I need encouragement. You need encouragement, and that is not a weakness. That is just a reality. And so, the more we can create as human beings, we need social groups. We've been engineered like that. We've evolved to thrive in groups. So even though we do a lot of work individually, we need to have opportunities to come together in groups, to share experiences, to share solutions, to share our difficulties, right, Faye? To encourage each other, okay? To work on ourselves, to grow together, right? As the saying says, together we rise. So thank you for your contributions. So in addition to the benefits you mentioned, I listed some here. So a community practice through the support can build greater confidence, right, in our teaching abilities. They can develop our attitudes, our knowledge, and skills. They can cultivate professional networks, like I mentioned, across the state, nation, and world, sharing resources and classroom applications. Also to connect to opportunities, such as employment opportunities, opportunities to present at conferences, or even leading professional development workshops. All of these things contribute to our expertise and our experience. So COPs also develop our professional teacher identity, leading to greater motivation, and I believe to greater well-being. If the community is a positive one and a supportive one, then it can help us to sustain motivation, to increase our motivation, to see purpose in what we're doing, to create purpose in what we're doing, and to just kind of help us to overall increase our well-being. Our work and our lives aren't always so separate, right? So our personal life and our professional life intersect. And the more we can take care of ourselves in our professional lives, that spills over into our personal lives and vice versa. So cultivating a COP was really the central goal that informed the design and development of the course, Introduction to Teaching Adult ESOL. And dedicating to the time to establish a COP is much like establishing a garden, as we see here in this picture. You know, it takes some upfront time and energy, as well as keeping some maintenance with the help of some friends. But the veggies and the fruits come in the form of greater confidence and ability in the classroom, greater networks and connections to other professionals and opportunities in the field, as well as a healthier professional identity as an educator. So you can tell I'm a gardener. Any gardeners out there? If you garden, you can see the the analogy there. Okay, let's go on. So the following are the topics that we will now explore and that are related to the cohort from the previous offering of the course, An Introduction to Teaching Adult ESOL. So we'll look at an overview of the course design, course outcomes, module topics, the module activities, as well as some of the students' feedback on the course, as well as some lessons learned from my perspective as someone who developed this course, who designed the course, as well as one of the instructors of the course, as well as some potential course modifications based on student feedback and my own observations. And then hopefully we'll have some time for your questions. So this course, Introduction to Teaching Adult ESOL, is a 10-week online professional development course for teachers of adult ESOL in Florida. The learning management system, or the LMS we utilize, is Canvas. Canvas is a web-based learning management system. It is used by learning institutions, educators, and students to access and manage online course learning materials and communicate about skill development and learning achievement. The courses focus on andragogy, second language learning theory, and ESOL teaching methodology, and is informed by the Florida teacher standards for ESOL. The Quality Matters CPE rubric was used in the development and review of the course design, and the Quality Matters, or the QM rubric, is a set of 8 general standards and 43 specific review standards used to evaluate and aid in the design of online and blended courses. So it's a great tool for any of you all who might be developing courses, professional development in an online environment. So the following are course outcomes that guided the development of the module activities. So we can see here that upon completion of this course, the participants will be able to conduct a needs analysis of adult ESOL students, apply methods of teacher self-reflection and peer observation, align adult ESOL program goals, curriculum, teaching materials, and student profiles, apply SLA theories and methodologies to adult ESOL context, plan lessons that apply learner-centered teaching strategies, and continue to support fellow adult ESOL teachers through a sustained community of teaching practice. And these are the modules in the course site that were informed by those outcomes. So we see here module 1, we have developing a community of teaching and learning. Module 2, your adult ESOL teaching context. Module 3, SLA teaching approaches. Module 4, planning for adult ESOL teaching and learning. And module 5, differentiation in adult ESOL classes. So the course readings and lectures were largely based on an excellent course book, Teaching Adult English Language Learners, A Practical Introduction, the second edition by Betsy Parrish. Additional readings and resources were also provided as needed. So a highly recommended text. If you're taking this course, you will receive one of those textbooks. If you're not taking this course, that could be a good resource for you. So as we see here, we have, and I'm actually, you know what, let me go ahead and take us over to the course. So this is, as we can see here, the student view of the Canvas course. And some of these are grayed out here because they will unlock on April 14th, but you can still see the basic structure. So you can see here that there's a questionnaire that is a needs assessment of for teachers and of teachers. And so this is an opportunity not only for the instructor to gain a better understanding of the course participants, but also as an activity for course participants to reflect on what their expectations are of the course, what their goals are of the course, as well as think about and plan how they will schedule and create a system that will get them to complete this course successfully. So this course and this professional development is often a new habit, right? That teachers who are taking this course have to implement rather quickly. And so I encourage through this questionnaire, teacher participants to think about, okay, when exactly are you going to dedicate time to engage in course readings and engage in course activities? And then at the end, in this feedback of each module, to reflect on that. How did you do? What do you need to maybe change, right, in your scheduling? What did you do well? And as well as what are your goals for the next module, right, that you set out for yourself? But as you can see here, all those modules are here. And within each module, okay, are these different module activities. So you have a module overview, and this provides module objectives as well as a tour of the activities in each module. A book club is a space for the instructor to provide a brief lecture and textbook readings, pose discussion questions for participants, as well as for participants to respond and share further ideas and resources, right? In your descriptions here in the chat, a lot of collaboration, a lot of sharing. That's where, that's one place in the course where this is done, of course, centered around the topics of the module. And the activity in each module is to facilitate the application of course concepts to the course participants' diverse contexts and to share these applications with the cohort. So this is an in-service professional development opportunity, meaning that everyone who's taking this course is actually teaching. So it's very important that we apply course concepts, course tools and resources, and we share our experiences applying the theory and methodology, the strategies and the resources in the classroom. So this is a very hands-on, experiential, let's see what works and what didn't work and how we can revise things. So the activities in the course allow us to do that. Then we have a reflection activity. So this is actually a guided reflection for the cohort to relax, to reflect on the questions that are associated with the module and to share their reflections. So this activity provides a more internal focus and space to cultivate well-being, right? As well as comfort with sharing deeper aspects of identity, teaching practice, and experiences. So I actually do a guided mindfulness meditation in this reflection, applying the science that shows that when we can just take a deep breath and relax and engage in a mindfulness activity, this actually triggers our parasympathetic nervous system, which in turn allows us to get from this kind of fight or flight, very focused mode that we're in, to open up, right? And open up and see the bigger picture. See the bigger picture of ourselves as teachers, of our students in our classes, and thus generate some creative ideas, right? And kind of tap into the effective aspects of our teaching practice. So that's where the well-being comes in, right? We're just not brain. we actually lead from the heart, especially as educators. So if we can connect those two, the mind and the heart, then beautiful things happen. And we're just happier people, and our students sense that happiness, and that is contagious, right, to our students and our colleagues. And the next are resources to share. So this is activity to create, crowdsource and share resources that we all, have a little bit of. So being that it's a cohort and you have so many different perspectives and experiences, there's a space for course participants to share these resources. Okay, and then finally, feedback to the instructor. So within each module, as you can see here, there are all of these activities just that I just went over: the module overview, book club, the activity, reflection, resources to share, feedback to the instructor. And feedback is also something that I'm very passionate about, very open to. And I think it's very necessary, both in the classes that we're teaching with our adult ESOL students, as well as when we engage in professional development. The more that we can open ourselves up to asking for feedback, as well as providing opportunities for participants and students to share feedback, that's just the growth mindset that we want to model and we want to practice. So let me just take a moment here to look over the chat. Gonzalo says, yes, we need as much mindfulness practice and mind training as possible, as much as do the students. We are extremely erratic and neurotic in our thinking, so we need to recognize we can do something about it. I've found the same in my life as well, Gonzalo, and it really doesn't take much. So why not, right? Why not show that leadership in our professional development with our colleagues, as well as Gonzalo saying, apply that in the classroom as well. Okay, so at the course level, also here, let me minimize these modules. There's something here called shared spaces. And within shared spaces, there's a library. So the library are actually resources from previous cohorts that are collected, all right? So it's really an ongoing list that's built around the different module topics that's categorized under the different module topics. So we continue contributing to this library of resources. The cafe, questions and advice, those are kind of just more general requests that might not fall under the modules necessarily, but again, just a space for questions and advice, and a glossary. So this is actually a collaborative glossary. Let me see if I can open this here, if it'll open in the, yes, I think it will. So the glossary is a resource that we collaboratively create as a cohort to remember to access terms related to the course. So if we go to this glossary page, this is actually a collaborative space where terms from the course, participants can add those terms. They add a definition and example, the source, and their name. And so this is a collaborative glossary of terms that just kind of help to recycle, to reinforce, and to, again, create a glossary that's collaboratively built, and then that can be referred to based on the key terms and concepts of the course. And then meetings. So we do have, even though this course is it's mostly asynchronous and self-guided, there are synchronous meetings over Zoom, where we have opportunities for discussion, kind of pulling on those threads, right, that show up in the course. And it's also an opportunity for me to provide feedback to the cohort. Some real live, they can hear my voice, right? Even though I do a lot of video and I contribute a lot of video to the course, there's really nothing like live interaction, just to kind of see where the interest takes us and where the needs are, right? And just to have some fellowship and some opportunity to get to know each other, outside of the class even, right? So these are meetings that are also recorded on Zoom for the participants who could not make it to the live recording. So some student feedback that I like to share with you from the cohort. And as you saw here in the course, there was feedback that I collected at the end of each module. But at the end of the last module, I asked this question, and it was, would you recommend this course to other teachers? Why or why not? So here's what the course participants provided. So I have learned so much and met wonderful like-minded people. And yes, I would highly recommend this course to other teachers. Absolutely, because it gives fresh ideas and provides connections to new colleagues. Most definitely. I think the development of a community through a course like this to be invaluable. I love the idea sharing. I love the idea sharing that takes place. So you can see just an appreciation for fresh ideas, for connections, of just, you know, our human connections as well as connections to ideas and resources. Here's some additional comments. Yes, always great to learn and reflect. We are lifelong learners, and we all need reminders too of being effective teachers. Of course, I really enjoyed the flow of sections and the resources shared. I would definitely recommend this course, not only for the breadth of materials, but from my perspective, the variety of ages of the cohort. This group had instructors of all age groups and their concomitant perspectives, which I feel is crucial to avoid falling in a rut or mindset. I think that, Gonzalo, you mentioned that too. I would definitely recommend this course to other teachers, but I would alert them that it is a lot of work. So some good feedback there, right? As far as the importance of engaging in professional development, to walk the talk, right? Of being lifelong learners, you know, as well as I really like this third comment here, and the diversity of experience levels, I would say, as well as ages. We just don't have those kind of opportunities as much to be in spaces where there are those diverse ages, multi-generations, to share with each other, to learn from each other. You know, yes, you know, about our professional work, but also just about life. And that is something I too really value, and that I really appreciated and gained from leading this cohort. And I always do. We're fortunate to be in a field that has a healthy range, I think, of different ages and experience levels. And we can always learn from those different experience levels, those different ages, those different life experiences. So some lessons learned. First are some opportunities, right? So we were able to develop teaching expertise in SLA theory and ESOL methods. The reflection and exchange between participants across the state was valued and beneficial. The synchronous meetings through Zoom provided a continued exploration and discussion of topics such as ideas for planning for IET, backward design, approaches to differentiation, learning the funds of knowledge students bring to our classrooms, and the sharing of lesson planning of ideas, and the sharing of lesson planning ideas and resources. Also, the online nature of the course made sustained professional development possible. And the collaborative, reflective, and supportive nature of the course activity supported teacher well-being. There were some challenges. One challenge was the limitations of interactions through discussion board activities. I think that that's just the nature of kind of asynchronous course, but you know, only doing discussion board activities is not enough. There were some kind of scheduling difficulties that prevented some course participants to attend the synchronous meetings. And lastly, given the richness of the activities, resources, and exchange in the course, the length of the course at times felt too short for some. So the following is how we are attempting to apply participant feedback and address some of these challenges. So one is in order to provide opportunities for everyone to participate in synchronous meetings, we will try to provide additional dates and times. So for example, if some participants can make it on Fridays, 1 week we'll do our Zoom meetings on Fridays. If others can meet on Wednesdays, we'll have a Wednesday option. To increase opportunities for interaction and collaboration between teachers in the course, we plan to ask for course participants to provide peer feedback before submitting certain activities. So before, let's say, submitting a lesson planning activity that takes into consideration differentiation, we'll ask cohort members to meet with each other to discuss their lesson plans and then to reflect on that interaction in their submission of their lesson plans. And to address their request for more time engaging in this online environment, we will actually offer additional PD opportunities that build on the course activities from this course through a course that we're building right now, and that's teaching adult ESOL for life and work skills. So there's only so much we can do in 10 weeks, and you don't want to fall into the trap of overwhelming. The class is busy, and as that one comment said, it can be a lot, right? It can be a lot of work. But we decided to take this course book that we're utilizing and divide it into two different professional development courses, and the kind of sister, the following course to this introduction to teaching adult ESOL is this teaching adult ESOL for life and work skills, a little bit deeper dive into the FDOE adult ESOL curriculum framework, as well as the specific teaching of the different skills for integrated and contextualized lessons. So again, just as a reminder, this course that I just presented, Introduction to Teaching Adult ESOL, will be offered from April 17th to June 23rd. If you would like to register or find out more information, you can email June Rawl, the FDA coordinator, who we just heard from, at this email address, jrawl@floridaipday.org. And I would like to open it up for any questions. So if you have any questions, please type those in the chat. Questions, comments, suggestions, anything that you'd like to contribute, please go ahead and type that in to our chat. And as we're waiting for those, I'd just like to say thanks to a few colleagues that supported this project, supported the development of this course. That's Jamie Adelson Goldstein. Thank you for your contributions and review. Rachel Ludwig, right, for her brainstorming collaboration and coordination. June, Tammy, and Joseph, the update team, for coordinating logistics, and John Mark Wise of Wise Learning Solutions for support with instructional design consulting. Okay, so let's see here. Can you please project the QR code? Yes, I can. So let me go back to the QR code. Okay, and so yes, here's the QR code. If you would like to copy that or scan that, and that is going to take you to the Florida IPDAY website, so you can contact, basically another way to inquire about this course. All right, thank you, Svetlana, for your contribution and your presence here. Kate says, not to assume, but each module will take about 2 weeks. Good question, Kate. So yes, exactly. It is designed for each module. I would say to get through about a week and a half to 2 weeks, and each module takes about, I would say, 4 to 5 hours each week to really kind of dive in. That includes the course readings as well. And let me see here. Is this limited to teachers in Florida only? I would think that that would be the case. I'll let June discuss that, but I believe that that since this is kind of being funded by the Florida Department of Education, that is the case. But I don't want to assume. So if we can't get an answer to you now, I would say email June, and she can get an answer to you later. All right, everyone. Thank you. I'm getting some
Yeah,
other Q&A.
Ramin, just
Yeah.
email me. I want
Yes.
everyone to be able just to email me because we'll take it by case by case. So definitely send an
Oh,
email.
perfect. Perfect. There you go. Thank you, June. So yeah, email June Roll. There's the email there. jroll@floridaipday.org. Again, if you have your phone, you can scan this QR code. That'll take you to the IPDAY website. Okay, so let me see here. If you'd like to get in touch with me and connect with me professionally, there's my information here. You can scan this QR code and you can connect with me on LinkedIn. Please do. I really enjoy connecting with colleagues to share updates of things that are going on and that I'm aware of in my personal professional life, as well as my my network. And I'd love to connect with you and your network as well for this greater community of practice. Okay, so with that said, I'll hand it back over to my dear friend June.
Thank you so much, Ramin. You have a survey that now appears on your screen. Take a few minutes, or just a minute actually, to fill this survey out. Your feedback is so important to us, so we want to know how you feel about today's webinar. And while you do that, I will remind you that Tuesday, April 11th, we'll have a Tech Tuesday webinar, and it's integrating QR codes for an innovative classroom. And then next Wednesday, Ramin will be back with us, Ramin. And it's a webinar on online support guide for Florida administrators of adult education. Thank you so much for all your wisdom today, Ramin, and for everyone out there participating. We appreciate all of you.
Thank you, everyone.